Cell phone operators blame the lack of spectrum for their inability to significantly drop the price of data in the country. They say it's been 14 years since spectrum was earmarked for their use. And they say the only way to drop data prices is to have access to it, which will reduce their manufacturing costs.
So our cost of manufacturing, if we can use that analogy, of manufacturing a cost of data needs to drop. The most important ingredient to be able to do that is spectrum. If you don't have access to spectrum, you're building more sites to carry on catering for the quantity of data growth. And you're doing it at a very expensive rate, whereas spectrum can make it a lot cheaper to be able to do that.
South Africa has some of the highest data costs on the continent. Advocacy groups say it has a direct impact on poor and lower income earners, as well as the growth of small and medium-sized companies. The cost of the cheapest 1 gigabyte data in South Africa is 7 times higher than the best-ranked one in Egypt and 3 times the price of those offered in Nigeria, Ghana and Uganda. However, research shows that the quality of data in South Africa is better. Mobile companies say capacity constraints and investment considerations are blockages that prevent them from lowering data costs. However, they claim that certain operators are not using their allocated spectrum.
We need to enforce the ICASA regulation. Use it or lose it. For those who've been sitting on the spectrum for decades, when the country is actually facing a spectrum crunch, you can't reconcile that. So for me, the simple plea to the ICASA, enforce your policies, enforce your rules.
The network providers have objected to more regulation of the data sector, saying it'll lead to less competition. Indications are that government will increase the spectrum in the first half of next year. John Bailey, Pretoria.